editing. Without it, the film industry would not be what it is today. But how many of us actually know the history of editing and how it all came about? I'm going to take you back in time to tell you how it all began. Let's go back to the very beginning, to the pioneers of film. These were the Lumiere brothers. The Lumiere brothers revolutionised the world of film by creating the first motion picture camera, named the cinematography. With this camera, in 1985, the Lumiere brothers created the first ever film. This film was quite simply a long shot of the workers leaving the Lumiere factory after a hard day's work. For us, this may seem like such a boring and basic piece, however back in 1985 this was a huge thing. This was followed by The Water Awatered, which is the second film the Lumiere brothers shot. Once again, the entire film was a single long shot. However, in this piece, the actors appeared from outside the frame. Notice how this film is very theatre-like. The actor comes on from the right side of the screen, as if it is in the theatre, and the focus is in the centre of the frame. Even when the boy is caught running away, he is dragged back to the centre of the frame. Here is a short piece-size shot to highlight the key stars. Notice how it is all shot in one long shot and the focus is within the centre of the frame. Moving on, we jump forward to 1896, where French illusionist by the name of Georges Méliès created the first form of editing. This today is known as a jump cut. The discovery of this jump cut was a complete accident and happened when the camera Méliès was using jammed in filming, and by the time he managed to get it working again, the actor was in a different position. This resulted in the effect of the person looking like he teleported from one place to another, or appeared and reappeared. Being an illusionist, Méliès used this to make audience believe it was magic. A perfect example of this is the piece he shot in 1896 called The Haunted Castle. Notice how the monsters jump from one place to another, scaring the human through the use of stop motion. Once again, notice how the whole film is one single long shot, however this time the focus is around the whole frame and not just the centre of the frame. Here is an example of these jump cuts I shot. Notice how the person appears and disappears in a stop motion like manner. Let's move on now and into the 1900s, where we come across an American producer and director named Edwin E. Porter. Edwin is a pioneer of film, and in 1903 he produced the first film to include what we know today as a close-up. The film was called The Gay Shoe Clerk. In this piece, notice how it changes from the long shot into a close-up to emphasise the lifting up of a dress to reveal her ankle. Also notice how, yet again, there is only two shots, the close-up and a long shot. The long shot is once again theatre-like and the actors come up from one side of the stage, and the majority of the action happens in the centre frame. Here is a piece I created using the close-up technique. However, this wasn't Edwin Porter's only breakthrough. He also created another film in 1903 called The Great Train Robbery. This film was significant because it was the first of its kind. The editing extended to splicing different scenes together to create a longer film, in the case of this one, 10 minutes long. However, notice how there is no cutting within the scenes. Some of these shots will seem slow to us now as a present-day audience, but back then this was all they knew. From this, we come to continuity editing. This is much more like the style of editing we see today. The next style of editing I want to talk about is montage editing. This was developed in 1910 and is essentially the splicing of several clips together to show time passing. A perfect example of this is the montage in Rocky IV. Notice the use of several different shots to show the passing of time in a much quicker and efficient style, without missing any of the content. Moving swiftly on, we come to parallel editing. This form of editing is used to bridge two clips that are happening in the same time within a sequence, but at different locations. This is often bridged by a soundtrack or the audio that continues to play throughout one clip as we see a different clip at the same time. A perfect example of this is seen in the crime film Godfather. Notice in this short sequence how the audio from the christening is in the background of the scenes where the hits are taking place. The final style of editing I'm going to talk about is rhythmic editing. Rhythmic editing is splicing the sequence so it fits in time with the music, becoming euphoniously pleasing to the audience. Take the latest trailer to Suicide Squad, for example. The soundtrack is Queen's hit single, Bohemian Rhapsody. Notice